Good morning. You're welcome to today's edition of Build to Go Global. This is a program where we discuss international trade and trade finance related activities. And today we'll be discussing with Mr. Bamidele Ayemibo, the lead consultant at 3T Invest Trade Academy. Mr. Bamidele Ayemibo has written several books on international trade. The latest, which is the Build to Go Global book, which we'll be discussing today. Good morning, Mr. Ayemibo.
Good morning.
So quickly, tell us what's the inspiration behind writing of this book?
Having been in the industry for a while, that's the international trade environment, particularly on the export side, and having exported myself, I've discovered a lot of challenges that exporters face to be able to ship their goods out. And this is not just peculiar to Nigeria or Africa. And these are some of the challenges that even people in the developed world face. And this led to begin to think through on the concept of readiness to go global. The fact that a number of businesses that started or attempt to export have issues being able to do the business. And this got me thinking that, look, how do we ensure that a business coming to this space and is guaranteed success and doing the business in a successful and sustainable manner, just having a template to work with, to be able to envisage what the challenges could be and be able to work around those challenges and guarantee success. And that was what made me actually to do this research and came up with the 15 P's of export readiness. And of course, this was expanded into a book titled Build to Go Global. So the inspiration basically is to find solutions to the challenges that businesses face in trying to export from anywhere in the world.
Do you think every business in Nigeria should think of having their business going global?
Either you are producing product or exporting services, you should think of earning foreign exchange. And the reason is simple. If you are into services, trying to sell abroad help you to be able to be immune to recession in your domestic economy. If you are into product, of course, selling abroad is necessary because sometimes even your product might have exhausted its product life cycle in your local market, but you can extend the life cycle of the product in the export market. So thinking of only local market is unwise for any business because anything can happen in local market that will make it difficult for you to do business. In fact, if you are into manufacturing and you import any component of your product, or you are into production and you import your raw materials, you don't need anybody to tell you now that you need to consider earning in foreign exchange. And that means the book is good for you. So either you are into production of goods or rendering of services, you can actually render service across border, you can trade your goods across border, and helping you to earn in forex, creating immunity in the domestic economy. I think that's what every business should really, really think about. So I think it's a book that not just even businesses, actually, even individuals who are working, who really are thinking of retirement someday, you want to learn about the principle that will help you to be able to get your product out there with minimal issues and errors.
I think the country, the Nigeria as a country should have a drive towards this direction in terms of encouraging businesses, to showcase their products abroad or even try to push their products abroad, get market for their products abroad. Don't you think that the federal government should have a drive towards this?
every every government in Africa, in developing countries, should consider supporting heavily their businesses to export. Because many of those countries have issue with foreign exchange, foreign reserve. By exporting, their citizens are going to be able to boost their foreign reserve with those foreign exchange coming in. So it's something that is extremely, extremely important for any business, actually, to really consider. To really consider. Because at the end of the, for any country, is that what?
Yeah, that issue, for businesses trying to go global, are there issues that businesses encounter?
Yeah. Like I said, when you have the first
because I can see it would be one of the reasons why people would not want to try to move their businesses abroad. Are there issues?
Yes, which is when the first question you asked, actually, that was what I was saying, that is the motivation behind the book, in the sense that people do have issues, and that increased the level of dropout from the business. It increased the level of mortality rate of the business. So what the book has done, basically, is to help them reduce that mortality rate. That's actually what the book has done, to reduce the mortality rate of those businesses. So there are issues. There are issues, but the principle revealed in the book help businesses to be able to mitigate those principles. I mean, those challenges, sometimes without even knowing them, but they're already prepared for it. So when it shows up, they're able to overcome it. For example, you already know you need proficiency in payment method, for example. So by the time you are dealing with letter of credit, you just find yourself working with letter of credit because you already developed proficiency in letter of credit, because the book told you that this is an area of proficiency you must develop. So you find yourself finding it a lot easier, not because it's easy, but because you have already developed yourself and your business and already ready before you embark on the journey.
This book is thoroughly researched on all the different areas that issue may arise from for people who want to take their business abroad. Is it?
Yes. In fact, in the course of doing the research, I checked a couple of readiness criteria by a number of organizations, some USAID, some university in the US, and a number of other bodies around the world. And I discovered that they were incomplete. They were good, but incomplete, having some area of deficiency. That's why this is having 15 areas. And each of the area having 5 questions. So you basically have about 75 questions to answer. And then at the end of the day, you can score yourself and be able to know indeed if you are ready. And the book is written in a very systematic manner, in such a way that there are case studies in each of the chapters, from chapter 14 to 18, case studies that talk about an issue. Then there is a section on conclusion on that case study that isolate the area of deficiency, and then the characteristics of this particular criteria of readiness, and then the checklist to know if you have that readiness, and lastly, the cure if you do not have that readiness.
Okay. Going through the book, I realized that they have lots of P's, and this forms different chapters of the book. And from what you said, if a business wants to go global, the first there are certain issues that they're going to face, Well, how do you signify or identify businesses that are not ready to go global? Are there characteristics that a business should have before, or things that they must put in place before they go global for them to be successful? And then these 15 P's, is it covered in these 15 Ps
Yes.
of export readiness?
So what the 15 Ps basically does is to reveal, if by the time you read through and you do the assessment for yourself, it will reveal to you which of the 15 Ps you have deficiency. So for example, the deficiency might be in the promoter. So for example, the deficiency can be in your pricing. For example, the deficiency might be in your promotion. The deficiency can be in partnership. So when you reveal the deficiency, and there is an application online that can enable those that have read the book, go online and do the assessment test, they will be able to get a report of the assessment. There's an application of that online already. So the idea is, I read the book, I know, okay, these are the area, and when I do the assessment, I discover my area of deficiency. So I can go back and read the book again and say, okay, if I'm deficient in people, that means I don't know my market. I want to go and check, what do I need to know about the people really? And how do I get those information? What do I need to know about the people and how do I get those information? So the book basically make you know those areas that shows you are not ready. Those areas of improvement that will reduce your error rate when you eventually start the business. And for people already in export, in the course of the research, I discovered that more than 60% of businesses in Nigeria are almost ready. Almost ready. Almost ready. Only 3% are ready.
Okay.
Only 3% are ready. But all 66% are almost ready. Now, what does that portray? That means those businesses have.
Was it done on all business or just export businesses?
No,
in Nigeria?
Manufacturers. Irrespective of what you manufacture. Manufacturing companies. Okay. Some of them are not even manufacturing. Some of them they are agro trading companies. They trade in agri, but there are businesses that have product that can be exported. There are businesses that have product that can be exported. Some of which are commodity traders. Some of these are manufacturing companies. And so what we discover is that a number of them were not ready. And that explains the reason why in a country like Nigeria, the number of exporters over the years, you have found some names consistently on the list. Some names have come in and gone out because of the level of dropout of export business. The almost ready means I might be able to export once or twice, but after a while, I'm not able to export again because those areas, I appear lucky first or second shipment. I might not be lucky on the third shipment because those areas are still there. Only that circumstances has not made it to become obvious. And if some other transaction, it might just become obvious. For example, someone is shipping an open account. He doesn't have partner at destination. He can do shipment once or twice and he get paid. The day he has issue with payment, you now realize that, how do I even follow up on this buyer? I should have gotten someone at destination. He's just realizing. But he has done 2-3 shipments on open account and it was fine. So people do that, but they are almost ready, not ready, but the day issue will happen. That's when they know that they were almost ready, which is why they're able to export 1 or 2 times successfully. But at the end of the day, they still have issue after a few shipments.
So of these 15 Ps, are there any skill that or hierarchy that would say, okay, this is the most important of the Ps or the critical ones that exporters should have, in your opinion? Are there any?
I'm a bit careful in doing that. And the reason is this. That will make people to concentrate on one area and leave the others. And remember, these are all readiness criteria that all have implications, which is why those that are listening need to get the book. So you can see the lack of each of them, how it costs businesses. And the cases in the book are live cases of which some of which I'm even part of. I got to know the people directly. Some I hear about it. So each of them have issues. So each of these areas create problem for business. So if I say this is better than this, you might be very skilled in managing the business, but how about if you don't have buyer at destination? Your pro might be good and the pricing is right. What if you don't know how to reach your buyer at destination? So I will be careful to say this one is the one you should concentrate on. I would rather You work on all the areas so that you can become really ready and be able to do a successful and sustainable export business.
So there's a case study on each of the P's that talks about the life case or a business that has gone down or still existing, a business that is still existing. So there's a life case for on the book for each of the chapters. What you're saying?
There's a life case study on each of the area of export readiness from chapter 4 to 18. There's a case study, rather, a case study. So, for example, a business that went into export and had an issue. All of them had issues. All the case study had issues. And what it was revealing is, why did they have issues? Why did they have issues? What could they have done differently to minimize the issues? And I identify what I call the 6 Ds of, 7 Ds rather, of sign of lack of export readiness. Delays, for example, demurrage, for example, discrepancies, for example, defect in the goods, for example, debt of knowledge, debts, losses, and dropout. Each of these, whenever it appears in any business, frequently, not occasionally, you can have delay like during COVID. But if you already have delay before COVID, you have delay even after COVID, something is wrong. There is an area of readiness that the business is lacking in. That's why it's having those things. So at the end of the day, you can diagnose yourself and be able to know, oh, okay, there's an issue here. Even though, that's why I said, for exporter and intended exporter. So I might be exporting. And I've done a few transactions. But I might be almost ready because I have. So for existing exporter, for the sustainability and continuity of their business, they need to get this book, Built to Go Global.
And this book, where can this book be found? If people want to get this book?
You can place order on our website, deleayemibo.com, DELEMIBO, deleayemibo.com, DELEAYEMIBO. Or you go to Amazon, it's on Amazon, and we are trying to put it on many other stores in Nigeria, RH Book, Iwemi and the like, and those ones are coming up. But currently, you can get it on, you can place order on deleayemibo.com. That will be a hard copy, but if you want soft copy, Amazon Kindle would be the best place to get it.
So that's where we draw the curtain on today's edition. Thank you, Mr. Ayemibo, for being with us today. So till we meet again next time, I'll be next week, Friday. Goodbye and stay blessed.
All right. Thank you very much.